So yesterday I deployed an application and connected to Cloudflare, and my setup was not correct. So each time when I type in my example.com, or in my case, let's say abc.ab.cf. So when I type in ab.cf without www, it is going to show me an error that page isn't loading. Now there are reasons for that. Now, I assume you have an application or something deployed, and you made a custom domain, and right now you want to connect your application with Cloudflare. Now, I could have recorded the video, but you know, this is now a closed project, so I don't want to show the entire setup. And if I record, I have to edit it. That's a lot of work. So right now I can explain how I tend to fix it. How I fixed it. In the community guide of Cloudflare, I found I didn't try that. It didn't work for me. Um, so I set up a new setup for me. Now, right now, if you type in ab.cf or https ab.cf without www or even with www, it is going to go to your website anyway. Now, there are some page rules that we can use in order for this. The reason why you are here is that I assume that you cannot connect to your web server without www. Okay, so if that's the case, and you can also watch this video to get an understanding of how the page rule works and deeply in Cloudflare. So right now, for page rule to work, you have to do a few things. You have to first go to the DNS setup, and then you have to set up a record like this. You already have a cname record, which is actually the www. Anything before your root domain is a cname. Okay. It's not a subdomain. www is a cname. When you type in anything before your root domain, it is going to that particular destination. So in my case, when I type in www followed by the root domain, it is going to go to this destination enigmatic. So that is there. So the additional thing that you have to do is tap on the new record and create an A record, and then you have to type in your actual root domain without www. So you can also put an at for that root domain. Then you can type in any IP address. In this case, I have typed in a private IP address, that's 192.0.2.1, but you can also type in 192.0.0.0 or anything. The actual idea of this is that when you don't have an A record, the browser is not going to connect to our web server. Rather, it simply drops the connection. So when we have an A record, it is going to ask Cloudflare, and when the Cloudflare sees that, it can then immediately go to the page rule and pull out the page rules. So when you don't have an A record to solve, when the browser tries to solve the A record, it's asking to Cloudflare, and then Cloudflare pulls out the page rules, and then it can be applied. But without A record, pointing to nothing, our browser is not going to ask to Cloudflare. That's it. So all you have to do, create an A record, type in any private IP address, and then that's done for this part. Okay, now you have to go to your page rules after completing the DNS setup. Then in the page rules, you have to do one thing. So currently, I assume I already said this. You cannot connect to your website without www. So if that's the case, you can set up a page rule, which when I type in http ab.cf followed by asterisk, which means followed by any page, let's say ab.cf slash a blog or anything. If that's the case, please redirect to, the forward this URL as a temporary redirect to this https ab.cf. And the $1 is that when you type in, that's kind of a parameter. Okay, so when you type in, that's really important, I will tell you that. When you type in http ab.cf slash blog, if you don't have this $1 here, then you will be only redirected to that ab.cf and not ab.cf slash blog. I will get to that in a minute. But right now, the first rule that you have to do is this. The way Cloudflare works is that, for me, the first rule will be checked. Now, if you first create this, then this will be the second rule. That's the case. So the first thing that you have to do is go to page rule. Firstly, create this address and create this rule, https, then your root domain followed by everything. That's this wild card. So if that's the case, if somebody types in https, nobody types in https, in most cases http will be redirected to https. So yeah, that's true. But the first thing that you have to do is create this https, then your root domain slash an asterisk, then forward this URL to https www dot your domain $1 as a temporary redirect. Now this should be the first rule in your page rule list. Then the second is this. When I say second, this is going to be the first, okay, because this is like a stack. The first one go is the last one, okay. So this is going to be the first, but when I create this rule, this is going to be the second. So after creating that rule, come here, create this rule. That means when somebody types in http, that's the default one, but because when you try to connect ab.cf, that's basically going to connect with http, and if there is https redirection, then that will be done. So by default, this should be the first rule, http followed by your root domain slash asterisk, and if somebody types in that address, please forward this to https ab.cf. Don't add www here because we already have one. So https your root domain.cf followed by $1, and this is also a temporary redirect. So when somebody hits http your domain.cf slash blog, it is going to go to https ab.cf slash blog. So when somebody goes to https ab.cf, it will be redirected from http ab.cf to https www your domain something slash blog or something, okay. So that's the case. It first hit here, then it will be forwarded to this, and it matches that specific URL again, redirected from this to this page rule, and this will be finally redirected to www the entire domain. So this is the actual setup that you have to do if you want to redirect any ab.cf or http ab.cf without www or with this should work for everything. In the community guide, I saw that somebody said you have to create a domain and you have to make it as permanent HTTPS redirect, and that's not going to work all the time. And this works all the time. This works for me at least. So the entire thing is that you have your HTTP redirect into HTTPS, then HTTPS will be redirected to HTTPS your domain. Okay, so that's the case. And again, you should need this error code, because if you don't have one, your browser will not try to resolve, and then the connection will be dropped. So if it that's a dummy IP, but when it tries to resolve it, ask Cloudflare, and then Cloudflare will pull out these page rules. Okay, I think I cleared everything. Sorry, I cannot record this because I have to edit the video after that. That's it. Okay, thanks for watching.